half mil chart, ruler, protractor. Let's do some pre-flight planning. Route selection. So we are going to look at doing the shortest route first. Swansea to Haverfordwest, draw the shortest route, and then we have a look. Are we going to go through any hazards? So we can look at our chart and we can see, yes, there is a danger area here, Delta 118, and here, Delta 117, and we'll know if they're active by checking our NOTAMs. And we will assume the danger areas are active and we do not have permission to enter, so we need to avoid them. So we can alter our route for hazards for ease and to use reference features, points of interest, or waypoints. So we can look at our chart and we can say, right, well, we need to go around these danger areas. We could hug them really tight, but for ease of navigation, we have Carmarthen, which we can use as our reference feature, and redraw the route from Swansea to Carmarthen, and then from Carmarthen to Haverfordwest. And now our route has been altered for hazards. There's the Strumble CTA, flight level 155 and above, and we're not going to exceed that. We're also going to note any controlled airspaces. Nope, all clear. Then we're going to scan 5 miles either side of our track and look for any hazards along the way. So we can look here and we can see, right, Swansea, then we go over Llanelli, then we do have Pembrey over here, Delta 118, and here Delta 117, Templeton, and we have Haverfordwest. Mountainous areas either side, 932, 502, 673, 673. Alternatives, we have Pembrey, Aberporth, Swansea to Carmarthen. We're going to do that at 2,000 feet to the speed of 70 knots. We're now going to measure our track required true. Carmarthen, Swansea. Measure the distance on the correct scale, 18 nautical miles. The angle of the line, and it's about 330. 330 degrees, track required true. Wind is from 280 degrees at 5 knots. So our second step is to draw the wind. So we imagine we're going to set our air balloon off from Swansea. The wind's coming from 280. So we put our dot on the reciprocal wind line here. So that's the wind line, and it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nautical miles in an hour, and because it's wind, 3 feathers on the wind. Then we draw a line of length, the true airspeed, onto the A to B line. So this line here needs to be extended, and we need to do 70 knots on the correct scale from here to where it would intersect this line. Draw that on, and this is our true airspeed. Now we can measure our heading true and our ground speed. So our heading true is the angle of the line that we just drew, so we line it up best we can to the lines on the chart. Try and get this as accurate as possible, and it has given us about 3 to 7 degrees. 3 to 7 degrees. Now our variation, this line here is 0.5 degrees west, rounded up to 1 degree. West is best, so it is 3 to 8 degrees compass heading. So the ground speed is where it intersects here to where Swansea is, 67. We put our ground speed in here, 67 knots. Then we do time, distance over speed, times 60, 16 minutes. We burn 12 litres of fuel an hour, 3.2 litres of fuel. Alternatively, we can use a Whiz Wheel. So the wind is from 280 and it's 5 knots. I'll draw the wind 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 knots on 280, and we are going to head 330 degrees through airspeed 70 knots, which is here. So we can see that our ground speed is reduced to 67 knots, and we can measure our drift angle as 1, 2, 3 degrees, which means it reduces our heading by 3 degrees. 67 knots and reducing our heading by 3 degrees. E6B sim, wind direction is from 280, speed 5 knots, course 330, airspeed 70 knots. Then we can read 67, couple of degrees of correction angle, heading 327. Now we can check if it makes sense. So we are departing Swansea and we are headed that way. The wind is from 280 degrees, so the wind is blowing us downwind. We're going to need to correct for that by turning into wind, thus reducing the number. Turning to the left, reducing our heading. Does our heading reduce? Yes. Does our ground speed reduce? Yes. Sanity check. Makes sense. Second leg, Haverfordwest to Carmarthen, and we will measure the distance and measure the heading. So the heading is 267 degrees. The distance on the correct scale, 24 miles. 24 miles. This is our course. So again, we're going to set the balloon off, the wind, so it's from 280, so it goes over here, 5. That is our wind. Now we can draw a line of length 70 knots. That is 70 knots. Now we can measure the ground speed. So 70 knots from this line here intersects. The ground speed is 65. And we can measure our heading true, which is 268 degrees, making it 269 degrees with the 5 degrees west variation. Time is distance over speed, so it's 22 and it's 4.4 litres. We'll do it again with the Whiz Wheel. So the wind again is from 280 degrees at 5 knots, and we are tracking 267 degrees at 70 knots. And we can see our ground speed has reduced to 65, and we can see our heading true is 268 degrees, 267 plus 1, 268 degrees. Then we can check, does it make sense? We are departing Carmarthen, heading towards Haverfordwest. The wind is slightly from the left, so it's going to blow us. We head this way, it's going to blow us down. We're going to need to turn to the right to correct for it, but only slightly. So yes, it makes sense. It's going to slow us down because it's a headwind, and we're going to need to turn to the right, turn it right up and increase our heading. So is it slowing us down? Yes. Are we slightly increasing our heading? Yes. Does it make sense? Yes. We can also add a little bit of time for taxiing and for landing. 10 minutes to taxi, add that on, work out the extra fuel, and check if we are now within our weight and balance, centre of gravity, and our performance figures. We can have our land joined, add that again about another 10 mins, shut down. So basically add 20 minutes on, and we can see our total time, 16 plus 22 plus 10 plus 10 gives 58 minutes. Round it up to an hour. 12 litres an hour we need for fuel. 12 litres of fuel, plus 10 litre reserve, 22 litres. We'll set up our chart from, again, Swansea to Carmarthen. It's a nice single line on the chart. And then from Carmarthen to Haverfordwest, again a nice single line on the chart. Time we've got 16 minutes. So what we can do is about a third of the way through, we can sort of set waypoints and we can say, well, we expect to be Llanelli 5 minutes. Then we expect to be Pontyberem another 5 minutes, and then Carmarthen in another 5 minutes, estimating our times. And then we can also split the next leg. We've got 22 minutes to the next leg, so we round it to 20, split it up into quarters. So we'll halve it about here, quarter it here, quarter it here. Then we can say about 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, and 5 minutes for our estimate. Look around at some points. We can see Swansea. We'll depart from Swansea, head towards Llanelli. We want Buryport to our west. Continue. We're going to want Foslas Racecourse on our left. We have a little reservoir as well. We want to keep that on our right. Head towards Carmarthen. We have a railway line following St Clair's. Splits at Whitland. We'll follow the northern split, then follow the railway line all the way to Haverfordwest, and then we'll join Haverfordwest. Swansea. If the wind forecast is from the west, we can expect to take off on the westerly runway. Runway 28. Runway 28, right at departure towards Llanelli. Fly to Carmarthen, fly to Haverfordwest. So, Haverfordwest, runway 27, straight in join. Follow the northern line. We can see the runway, position ourselves, straight in join for runway 27, straight in at 27, vacate left, Bravo 1, onto the stands. Don't forget high-vis jacket. So, destination, PPR, runway, any crosswind, not expecting it. Procedures, will join straight in, circuit heights, radio frequency 123.605, Haverfordwest radio. There is no ATC, there is no airspace. Crosswind clock, we haven't got any crosswind. Divert options, alternative airfields, we have Pembrey, we have Aberporth. Prepare your chart, so we've plotted our route, we have marked our different points of the legs. Get yourself a stopwatch or a watch, kneeboard with your plug, additional equipment. It's going to be cash, your phone, etc. Cockpit organisation, you're going to have the map folded. Set this one underneath, set this one like this. And now we have our folded chart ready for the leg.